Hello, hello.
Hey, So, how are you?
Hi, Eric. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Hey, everybody, how are you?
Hello. Gonna try to put on the chat. Oh, there we go. All right. Just give me a minute. It's just all right. So, well, hello again. Sorry, got distracted for a second. I am So. I am doing Time for Life with my guest today, Dr. Eric Lulov. Is that okay? Do I pronounce it
You
right?
got it. Right on the money.
Thank you. And well, today my co-host Beth is under the weather.
No, we just killed her. We didn't want her on the show today. I wanted So all by myself. I didn't want Beth involved.
She didn't get vaccinated.
No, really,
I'm
Beth,
just
feel
kidding.
better. We wish you were here and feel better.
Yes, we love Beth, and I hope you're going to be
It
okay.
just sucks to be sick.
Absolutely. So it's everyone's at our turn, right? I was sick on Monday. I'm chronically illing out, and now it's your turn. So
that's why we live in South Florida. We don't get sick down here because we have sun all day long.
Well, we don't have sun all day long, but it's okay. We manage.
No, but you have northern lights, which I haven't seen in like 20 years. So
yeah, it's awesome. So let me just get back to. Okay, wait. Actually, it's not get back. It's more welcoming everybody who's in the chat. There's already 29 people. So hello, everyone. Welcome.
Only 29?
Yeah. Well,
wow.
It's okay. We're going to ask them to hit the hearts.
We're good. Hi, everybody.
So, hi, Dick. Hi, Kim. Hi, Julie. Like usual, my chat is on my tab, so I might miss up the stuff. If you have a computer, Eric, and you see interesting, interrupt me. We love to interact in our chat. So,
wait, you want us to interact with everybody in the chat?
I think
no.
Maybe not everyone, but no. If you see something that you want to react to. So,
I'm just kidding.
So just to go back to the introduction, this is Time for Life. This is where we take a break from the doom and gloom, and we spend an hour discussing with our guests about what brings them joy. But first, Dr. Eric. Should I call you just Eric or Dr.
You can call me Eric. It's fine.
I'm sure you get that question all the time, right?
Right. No, doctor's what I do. It's not who I am.
I've heard you say that before, and I absolutely love that because we tend to mix our identities.
God, I look tired today. Oh my God. I look tired today. Wow.
Okay. No, you're not tired. I mean, at least you're tan. Look at me. I'm white, just like the snow outside. So.
Well, I'm also I was in my red light therapy today, so I'm a little glowing a little bit today. So
yes. Well, I envy your tan.
I have a whole skincare regimen that, I'm happy to share, but it's
Do you want to share it with us now?
Well, I gotta do my intro because not everybody knows who I am. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So okay.
Enough. You have to forgive So everybody. She's not used to hosting. So.
Not by myself anyway.
Exactly. So.
All right.
We're still gonna have fun regardless, so it's all good. So hi everybody, I am Dr. Eric Lulov. I am the Chief Executive and Medical Officer down here in South Florida at the West Boca Center for Wound Healing. You've seen my stuff all over Substack. I am published through Brilliant Media, and we have the Diegene Show with Nick and Walter and Evan tomorrow at 12:30. So you've seen me around and about doing my own stuff and doing a lot of stuff with Brilliant Media. So welcome everybody, and I am happy to be on Loafing Around with So.
Just saying that.
I'll just host my own show. We can just
That's okay. Go ahead. Take it away, Dr. Eric. Oh, sorry, Eric. So tell me, what brings you joy? That's my first question.
Oh my goodness, what brings me joy? So there's a lot of things that bring me joy. There's the standard answers, right? My wife, my family, seeing my patients doing well, like the normal everyday stuff. But there's a level of joy here that I think we all need to tap into, right? And it's the things that we do separately outside of work and family that are the things that keep us grounded and keep us whole. Mm-hmm. And that's where we truly find, and my maha, instead of make America healthy again, is make America happy again. That's we have to change what maha actually means. So to find joy, So the things that we're going to talk about today, I mean, I've talked about this in the past in other shows, but like pickleball is a really good way for me I find a lot of joy in pickleball because it's how I get outside. It's how I see the people that I have interacted with for the last 7-8 years on the courts. It's a place for me to escape the reality of my day stuff, to get onto a 40 by 44 by 20 court and hit a little white plastic wiffle ball really hard at somebody at 50
That's
miles an
pickleball,
hour
right?
from 14 feet away. This is a pickleball, everybody. Yeah. So, to be in that environment. So that's one. But why we're calling it loafing around is because I've been posting lately, the last couple of weeks, is posting my bread making. So
Mhm.
I find that being able to be in the kitchen and be a little chemist with a little bit of water, sugar, yeast, salt, dough, flour has given me a lot of pleasure over the years. And I started during the pandemic. And so I've been
Interesting.
perfecting my bread making over the last 7-8 years. So
Has it been 7, 8 years already?
and
Like,
2019 was the pandemic. 2019, 2020. I feel like we're still living in it because people haven't gone past it. They're still living, they're still blaming the pandemic for things that were going on today. And well, I could say that, yes, about government and how what people think and how MAGA kind of has accelerated. Um, I think people need to, pardon my French, so to speak, since you're from Quebec. People need to grow the fuck up. Stop
mhm.
blaming shit that happened 7 years ago. Okay.
I mean,
It's the here and now. You take care and you control your life today, not what happened 7 years ago. Nobody else, nobody else blames. You can't blame other people for the things in your life that you're not happy about and don't give you joy. You make that choice. It's a choice, right? We
and
make
but
choices. We make choices every day that have good outcomes or really bad consequences.
and
And
if I
how, yeah.
can interrupt you, this is something you've discussed on the show where you discuss intelligent masculinity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have this is and I'm happy that you're saying that because it's a discourse that needs to be repetitive, it has to sink in somehow, the whole blaming others, taking responsibility. So
Yeah. And I find it's so easy to point the finger at somebody else and say, and this is what MAGA does. This is what Trump does. He points to another people, points the finger and says, those are the people who are responsible for your lot in life. That's what they're so rotten.
mhm.
He's done it he's marginalized every single group.
Yep,
Okay. He's done
exactly.
it to the Jews. He's done it to the Somalians. He's done it to the Jamaicans. He's done it to the Haitians. He's done it to Roman Catholics. He's done
Mhm.
it to like white people who aren't white Christian nationals. I mean, he's done it to everybody. And that methodology of thinking is so unintelligent.
Mhm.
I mean, we can all agree that he's not the most intelligent person on the planet. If he is, it's only in marketing and branding strategy because everything else is just a complete disaster. But when we talk about intelligent masculinity, when it comes to being happy, it's understanding that you need to know yourself and you have to have a level of maturity to know yourself. You know, thine my own self be true.
Mhm.
I forgot who wrote that. I forgot the author who wrote that.
Maybe someone
Um,
can tell us in the chat, so
yeah.
we'll check.
Well, trajectory's in, so Gene's here, so maybe he knows. Um, but the whole idea is that you have to be true to yourself, and that means being honest with yourself about everything.
But let's just say that people who have the types of behavioral problems that they have, they blame others because they usually lie to themselves. So,
Well,
but
it's easy. It's easy, and that's where we're seeing, and that's why we're seeing what we're seeing now, because with the collapse of what we're seeing with the dichotomy in MAGA
yeah,
is that those lies are now becoming very exposed, and people are really having to look in the mirror because
mhm,
it's not all rosy. It's not, prices aren't coming down. Shit's
mhm.
not getting less expensive.
No,
Okay? It's not becoming easier to live. And
so
the lies are starting to penetrate. And when people are lied to and they've believed it and they've drank the Kool-Aid, and now now the Kool-Aid's getting sour.
mhm. Interesting.
The hardest thing to look at is in the mirror.
And just the fact that you said things are getting, there, the sour, I don't know why, it makes me think of sourdough bread.
I was going to segue into that actually. So see how I teed you up for that one?
And about the rose, just saying, guys, I brought my great t-shirt today. I also want to bitch Trump. So let's go all the way in, kittens against Trump. So bread and kittens today.
Yes, right. And I just want to let everybody know that I got one of the cool new water bottles from Sick of This Shit Productions. So we all just need to just suck less.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
I have to get
as my friend Nick says, everybody just needs to just suck less. So this is a great water bottle. Right? It's like 32 ounces. I just finished the water in here actually. But there's a QR code here. Well, I'll show it again at the end of the show. Everybody can take a picture of that and go right to the store.
Awesome.
And if you want one of these really cool metal water bottles, which are TSA compliant, okay, then right.
That's cool. At the end of the show, also, I can try to pitch in the QR codes. I believe it's there. So, but we'll see. Yeah, let's not do it right now. So, just suck less. Monica says that. I believe. Oh yeah. Hi guys, Stephanie, Nick.
Hey Jackson. Us. Hey Jack.
Hey, welcome.
Oh, there it is.
So tell me.
Our secret producer put the link in.
Yeah. Ah, thank you, secret producer. Tech whiz.
Hey Stephanie, how are you, honey?
So, all right, bread.
You segue to sourdough.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I have a cousin who makes sourdough bread, and she's explained to me how she keeps is it yeast in a like yogurt container in the fridge, and so you've got to explain to me how that works because, anyways, I didn't take chemistry very long when I was in high school.
I everybody gets really intimidated with sourdough. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, here's the idea, everybody. You have a glass container, and it's really just, honestly, it's flour and water. That's it.
Isn't there a bacteria, though, with like that?
I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there in a second, okay? So when you mix flour and water, and you put it into a glass container, the water and the bacteria start to form basically like it starts to form gluten. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens is in the container, the flour starts getting devoured by the bacteria in the flour itself. Right. And it starts to form so that's why they say each day you get what's called like a remnant. Right. So what you do is, so each day, so when you add, let's say 100 grams of water and 100 grams of flour, which is a really easy formula to start with. Okay. And I use the King Arthur bread flour. It's my favorite bread flour to use. And I use the organic bread flour.
Okay? Love the name King Arthur.
King Arthur, right. King Arthur. So they actually have a really wonderful place in Norwich, Vermont, right by Dartmouth University. So they have a whole facility. You can do cooking classes there. They have virtual stuff. You can go online. Actually, my wife just bought me for my birthday, which was 2 days ago. Turned the big double nickel. So
happy belated birthday.
I don't look 55. Everybody. This is what South Florida living does for you. So he doesn't look 55. No gray, very minimal gray hair, Okay, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so
I'm listening.
when you make your so when you start it, so within 24 hours, you're gonna get like a discard. Okay, it's gonna look a little soupy and whatever. So you save like half of it. So you pour out and you discard 50 grams. Okay.
Okay.
Then you add another. So you take your 50 grams of your remnant that you're holding. You add another 100 grams of flour and another 100 grams of water, and you feed it every day. Okay?
It's totally what she told me to do. Like,
right. And then all you have to do is just you feed it every day. You check it, so it should double in size each day, right? And you want to mark how much it's rising. Okay. Yeah. So you want to keep it in a low humidity environment, like just on the kitchen counter, away from windows and sunlight and whatever. So after about 7 to 10 days, when it's risen, so you'll have about, say in a jar, you'll have about 200 to 300 grams of a sourdough mix. Okay. When you open it up, and you smell it, it's going to smell a little fruity. Okay. when you feed it one more time and it rises to the same level and it stays there, then you know you have a ripe sourdough. Now, here's what you do with it, right? So you can keep that. So you stir it up and it'll deflate back down. So now you have a sourdough starter. Okay. So now you can make your sourdough breads. Now, almost every bread in the world literally is composed of a sourdough starter, from pain de campagne, from pain au levain. I mean, I could sit here and go through 500 different breads from every region of the world makes a sourdough bread. Okay. The most common is a pain au levain, which is what our typical French sourdough breads are. And there's
exactly.
And now I have a logo where my face is right here. See?
Wait a second. I think Nick just joined.
I think Nick just did that.
It's his fault. Nick, do you want to be on? I mean, might as well if you're there. Just write in the chat, or you can add yourself.
So I have a QR code right here.
For the sake of the shop, get your Just Suck Less bottle.
Just get your Just Suck Less bottle. And putting a QR code on in the middle of my description just sucks more. See, now he did it to you too. I know he's just doing production stuff. Oh, I'm so glad that we're your test case, Nick, for doing production stuff in the middle of a live.
We're so lucky to have Nick.
Yeah. I know. We're very lucky to have him. So basically, from that sourdough starter, you're then going to mix your yeast, salt, additional flour, and water to make your initial like the sourdough for the first what we call the first fermentation.
Yeah.
Okay. So that takes about 24 hours. So to properly make a sourdough bread takes 2 days. Okay. 1 day for your first bulk fermentation process. And then the second day for your second bulk fermentation, which is where you're actually going to bake your bread. Okay. So that's pretty much how it works. So a typical pain de campagne or a pain au levain is basically your typical French or Italian sourdoughs, which are really easy to make once you have your starter. Now, for those of you that don't have patience, like Soso over here, right? Over there. Over here.
Why are you saying I don't have patience?
No. For those of you that don't have patience, you can go to the local supermarket and they already have sourdough starter already processed for you. Okay. All you have to do is add water to it. It's already a pre-bulk fermented sourdough starter. You can just go ahead and do your bulk fermentation from that point without having to wait 24 hours. So for those of you that don't have patience or don't want to store, now here's what you do with your sourdough that you've got in your canister, right? That can go into the refrigerator. So you only need to feed it once a week.
Yeah.
Okay. And that can hold forever and a day. Because all you've done is make bacteria. So if you wind up having to pitch it, you just start all over again.
I have a question for you. When now people will ask you, why is it worth it to like take 48 hours and just to go all through that process instead of making white bread, for example, where you just let it rise and.
So for those of you in the chat who bake, okay, if you've smelled your kitchen after you've baked something in the oven and you have that scent of baked goods, or even if you walk into a bakery and you walk in, you're like, oh my God, that smells so good.
Yeah.
Right? There's twofold here. One is that you've made it. You've made your bread. It is a homemade art that you've done yourself. Okay. So with family, with friends, because it's homemade bread and it's fresh, you know exactly what's in it.
My question, sorry, I should have been more specific. My question was more like, is it better then to make sour bread than just white, regular bread?
So much more healthier.
Yeah.
White bread has all the enriched crap in it.
That's what I meant. Like, as a doctor, what do you know about it? Like, why? Because I know I like it so much.
Let's go back here. So any bread, typically there are 4 ingredients to make bread, right? You need bread flour or flour, salt, yeast, water. Now you can add sugar. A lot of my breads, I add rosemary. I'll add some thyme. I'll put in herbs, I'll put in some cranberries, and I'll put in like different dried fruits or whatever to make whatever breads I want.
Hmm.
So
Super
you can add,
ingredients, right?
right, olive oil. You can mix in olive oil, so the olive oil is kind of fermenting in with the yeast as you're getting the gluten and getting the pull. So depending on the type of bread you make, it also depends on what you're trying to accomplish, right? The easiest breads to make are French breads, right? French breads and like Italian rustics, because
Baguettes.
not even a baguette, just even like a French round loaf, right? So you can do it in your oven. So there's a couple things you definitely need to have, right? You have to have, if you don't have a bread making oven, like a
Mhm.
bread oven, like a freestanding oven, you can
Yeah.
use your regular oven. But the trick to making French bread is really having steam, because that's how you get the crust really crispy, really hard and golden, right?
That's yeah.
Of course, you're in French Quebec. I mean, it's like, how
Actually,
it's a standard.
I would say I'm pretty like that's an aside. I'm very lucky because I'm married to someone who's from France, and his cousin was here this week, and he is
Oh my
a
God.
no, but
Tell
his
me
cousin.
was he making?
Not, he actually what's the name? It's il pâtissier boulanger. That's his like basically that's his job. Like he has a
He's a pastry chef.
exactly, but with a bread too. Like they make bread and they make
And you're not
pastry.
sharing with anybody on the show? Are you kidding me?
Well, he's in France, so
I don't care.
but
Where is he in France, by the way?
is in the Région de l'Ardèche, which is Moulin, and his place is called Moulin d'Aubenas, and it's doing so well that he's opening a second shop. So yeah, I have good contacts there, and it's great because he came, so he went to another pastry bread shop to just to meet the owner. And it's like ask, and this is how you become successful there. You're
Mhm.
curious, and he also, as you described, he does like he tries out things. He's got his own little laboratory. It's fascinating. So
And really, baking is all about chemistry, because it's remember, the more yeast you add, now you don't want to add a lot, because here's what happens when you add a lot of yeast, and this is the mistake that I just made. I inadvertently added a lot of yeast.
the first time
So,
or
well, this
last
last
week?
time, and the bread came out actually okay, but I didn't like it taste wise. So when you add a lot of yeast to any mixture, it's going to rise real quick. Like within 30 minutes, it was like, right? But what happens is, because it's rising so quickly, you don't let the gluten develop. So it's acidic. It's a very acidic bread.
Hmm.
So the crust came out amazing, but the crumb, which is the interior of the bread, not so great.
So do you make notes when you make your
Oh yeah, it
bread?
was a
Does
mental
it-
note not to do that again. So on average, you're only going to really need anywhere between 1 to 2.25 teaspoons of yeast, of an active dry yeast, right?
Mhm.
You can use instant yeast, same thing. I use the Safety instant yeast, the active dry, because it's the one that most chefs use.
Okay.
And so now everybody wants to know the difference between flour, like all-purpose flour, and bread flour.
You're actually making the people in the chat hungry. Now I'm hungry. You
I'm
are the best guest ever. Thank you, Monica.
Yeah, everybody just keep smashing the hearts for So and Sick of This Shit Productions, because we got to support our friends. So smash the shit out of the heart. Because we just all have to suck less, which means you smash the heart. That's how
Yeah.
this works,
Thank you,
right?
guys, and welcome to the newcomers. I see people
Yes,
coming in still.
welcome
Uh,
everybody. I
so
know this is making me hungry. I'm gonna go home and probably bake a bread later, even
and
though I won't be home to enjoy it this weekend, because I have to go to Boston. So,
can you take it with you? Not really.
I could. I have to double wrap it, saran wrap, put it in a bag. It's another carry-on. It would actually count as a carry-on, believe it or not. But I could bring one.
With
I
security,
technically could.
because you're inside the country, like you're not
Mhm.
like
Yeah, but it's still. I'm fortunate. I have very high status on American Airlines, so I'm pretty. I can pretty much do what I want. when I board an
I
aircraft.
miss my plane. Okay, they're pushing somebody else's seat, and let's give it
Yeah.
to our.
That's how that works, actually, believe it or not. I have a very unique status on American Airlines. I have concierge key status. So I'm one of the top 500 people in the country that they extend that to. So I have like automatic guaranteed next flight if mine gets canceled, like they bump somebody else for me.
My
So
husband.
yes, there is unfortunately some benefits with status. It does work. But anyway, so let's get back to we have regular all-purpose flour, which you can use for general baking. Use it for everything: cookies, cakes, breads. Mix. You're gonna use it for like batter. You're gonna make like a deep fried mixture, or whatever. For you're gonna meatballs. Use purpose flour to whatever. Okay. Then there's bread flour. So here's the difference. So bread flour has a higher protein level. Okay, it has anywhere between 11 and 12.5% protein.
Okay.
So what happens is the difference between bread flour and all-purpose when you're making a loaf or when you're making a dough, bread flour is going to give you more stretch. So it's much better for that if you're going to make baguettes, if you're going to make rolls, bagels, pancakes. Okay, you want all-purpose flour if you don't want the dough to have a lot of stretch.
Okay.
So like use bread flour to make like an egg challah or a Jewish egg bread. But if you want more like artesian, crispier bread, you want to use all-purpose flour. Now there's other flour. There's rye flour. There's pizza dough flour. There's the whole wheat flour. Like, there's all kinds of different flours. About semolina for pastas. But in all, you're not going to use any one of these flours individually. You still need to use all-purpose to blend the flours together because you have to develop the gluten. So like semolina, for those of you that love Italian food, semolina flour is made of durum wheat, which is literally like one of the hardest wheats on the planet to digest, which is why we mix semolina with all-purpose. It doesn't rise. So that's why it's great for pastas.
So why would you, if it's hard to digest though, what's the interest?
Because it's great because it doesn't rise. So it's great for noodles and pastas and shape type of dishes. I'll use semolina for like a dough in the bread, and it gives you that yellowy, but you still need a flour that can rise with it. So, okay. And then there's like rye. So we use whole wheat flour. So whole wheat flour is how I make my pita bread. Whole wheat flour is great to get a really good, solid rise out. Plus it will set faster than bread flour. So when I do my pita bread, which I put my recipe on my Substack, which everybody can download. So it's great also with hummus if you want like a little Mediterranean diet. So because of the wheats that you get in the Mediterranean part of the world, it's more whole wheat, durum. It's a heartier wheat flour that they use. So it's more for like naan bread and pita. You don't need the rise. But if you go to like Northern Europe, it's a lot of rye. In Ireland, Scandinavia, Iceland.
So soda bread isn't that good? Like
soda breads, right? So they use a lot of rye flour. So you get that more heartier, really tight crumb in the bread, but it's darker. And then you can add certain things. So like when I want to make like a Sicilian bread, I'll add a little brewer's yeast.
A little what?
It's called brewer's yeast. So it gives it more of a nuttier taste.
Okay, but it's a type of yeast, right?
No, I still use regular yeast, but we add a little bit of brewer's yeast to get a more nuttier taste to the bread. So this is why it's chemistry. Like you can add like you can add salt, you can add sugar. I use a lot of cane sugar because it's clean. I use mostly filtered water. I don't use tap water. I add a lot of herbs. It's a lot of fun.
I just had a flash. I saw Brendan was in the chat earlier. I think he's probably still there or listening to us. And you've seen the gay baking show with Brandon Elric.
So funny,
right? It's great. So I was about to say you guys should make bread together. But anyway, it's just an idea like that because
it is. Diana put something in the chat. Diana was asking what's in sourdough. So Diana, you kind of missed it. You might have came in late. We already discussed it, but sourdough is basically fermented water and yeast aged over 7 to 10 days that creates a sourdough starter.
Yeah.
And then you add that to flour and yeast and salt, and that does what's called a bulk fermentation. And then from there, you take that mixture, add in more flour on day 2, and then that becomes whatever you want to make as your sourdough bread.
And good question for Monica. Do you use filtered water for a taste difference?
Yes, it's cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you use regular tap water, you're going to get more minerals, which can change the flavor and the crumb in the bread. It can actually add more mineral that you don't want, especially if there's like heavy magnesium, heavy calcium. That's going to create like a salt when you mix it with water in the bread. So that's going to create a saltier bread. So I want my breads to have the flavor that I want them to have. And when you use filtered water or spring water, right, you can use more herbs like rosemary, thyme, sage, basil. You can, and then there's other breads. Like you've had a French bread fougasse, correct?
Well, yeah, often. Okay. When you go to the pastry shop.
So what's a fougasse? So a fougasse is basically a baguette filled with cheese.
Fougasse, like this.
Okay. It's either filled with fig or cheese. And so I make one. This is gonna crush everybody. Everybody's gonna be like dying to go get this later. But I make a French bread fougasse that has goat cheese and fig.
Figs. Do you use fresh figs or do you use the
Trader Joe's is my best friend. They have a fig butter that they make in a jar that's about this big.
Okay.
Yeah. So I use that. And then I use like silver oak, like goat cheese or like a fresh goat cheese. And it's just insane.
I just want to try it right now. Like,
it's insane.
Send some
and then when I'm done, here's when I'm done with it. So it comes out of so I sprinkle a little Parmesan on top of the bread. And then as it comes out of the oven, I use a little honey and it glazes down on top of the bread when it comes out. It's just like, my wife yells at me every time I make it because she basically says, don't ever make this again.
Why that? Why?
It's rich. It's really rich.
Oh, okay. So because you're like trying to basically not eat too much calories.
Right. So if you're you're from Quebec, right? So, Absolutely. But if you go to Austria, and this is where bread's regional things, and I've had the real privilege of like traveling, which really opens up, your level of food and that kind of thing. So
I was about to ask you, actually, it was right away. I was about to ask you, like, when you travel, and it sounds like you have traveled a lot, you must be so open to the difference in terms of flavors, the way they make it. So anyways, just wanted to say
and this is the beauty about traveling. And I hope everybody has the opportunity when they do travel. The reason my wife and I travel, our thing is not to do like architecture and museums and, 4,000 old columns. That's one column, like at the Temple of Athena in Kusadasi, Turkey. But it's like, I don't care about that. I care about learning local cuisine to be able to bring that home and make it at home.
Wow. Oh, that's
part of learning. Part of traveling is learning how other people make food so that you can reproduce it in your kitchen so that you can bring home your vacation.
But it's got to be hard though, because you've got to sometimes in terms of ingredients,
yes.
So
and they can get pricey trying to find certain ingredients, but like, for the most part, I have a really good farmer's market where I live and they can pretty much get anything I want.
Okay.
So I've been shopping there for 25 years and I know the owner. So if I ask them for something, they'll go get it for me. Like they'll order it.
Oh, that's neat.
Like learning how to properly make hummus when I was in Israel. But not learning Israeli hummus, but learning how the Lebanese make hummus. There's a little trifle difference.
Chickpeas, are they fresh?
It's the same thing. I use garbanzo beans. It's the same thing. Like I said, Trader Joe's has everything, just about.
But it's not it's lentils. You don't use I
use chickpeas.
Chickpeas, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, the one thing I've guarded my whole life has been my hummus recipe. And I'll probably put that online for everybody because it's better than store-bought hummus.
No way.
It literally can take you 10 minutes to make a portion of hummus.
Okay, so if it takes, there you go. You could go on with Brandon and make hummus.
and then if you make my pita bread, and you have that with the hummus, you've got your appetizer for a party,
Oh my God.
and your neighbors will love you. Like they'll die. They literally will be kicking and screaming. They won't eat anything else.
Oh, you're just
But anyway,
making.
I was losing my track here. So when you go to Vienna, so the Austrians eat bread in the morning. And what's really nice about going to Europe is when you sit down at any restaurant in Europe, they offer you the sweetbreads and the meats. You get a continental breakfast.
Mm,
Our breakfast here is nowhere near continental. Whatever
mm,
they say continental is here, it's a joke.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I've noticed.
Continental European breakfast. If you do not have the opportunity in your life to have a European continental breakfast, I highly suggest you go try one somewhere. Even if it's your birthday, go splurge. Because when you sit down and, it's a unique experience being in Europe and being able to have breakfast in Europe because it's so classy. It really is. There are certain things that the Europeans do so much better than us, and food's one of them.
Mm,
They've been doing that for a lot longer too. But there are certain things here that they can't do that we do here. Barbecue, forget it. It's us. 1,000 times. The Europeans cannot barbecue to save their skin. Okay.
unless, like they've traveled and
Correct.
then they kind of like,
Right.
okay, well.
Because they're used to different style of cooking.
Mm.
Right. If you go to any European family, they don't have a grill in their home. They have a steam oven and they have a regular oven.
Wait. Okay. I have family in the south of France and he's got a barbecue outside, coal, but
Cold barbecue.
with coal. It's not like us, it's not gas.
Mhm.
But okay, I have to disagree with you there. His barbecue was awesome. Like he had
Right. But
sausages.
the thing with coal is you have to control the heat.
Absolutely.
Right. Because
But
coal
he's
will
got
burn
a restaurant, so I guess that
Right.
he had had experience. But yeah.
No, but a coal barbecue, like a regular coal briquette barbecue, is it's always high heat, so you're searing.
Yeah.
It's a searing type of barbecue. So you got to be careful. You got to move the charcoals around to one side so that you're only getting direct heat on one portion of the grill, so you can indirect heat on the other. I mean, there's a whole thing with barbecuing that's like, it's how I make picanha steak.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who have never had a picanha, it's basically like a brisket with a fat cap on it. So you cook it indirectly on the grill. So you turn up one side of the grill really high, you put this on the other side, and you let it cook for like 3 hours. You let the fat cap cook through it, so it melts down into the meat, and that's basically like a Brazilian steak.
Wow.
Living in South Florida, I get a lot of South American influences here. I'm very fortunate. I have a very eclectic taste menu down here, which is great.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
So Monica just asked about steam ovens. So
Yeah.
I do not own a microwave in my house. I actually, when we redid our kitchen, I put in a 30-inch convection oven and I put in a steam oven in.
Both.
I have both. So I have an upper steam oven and a lower convection.
Mm.
No microwave. Because really, at the end of the day, what do you really use your microwave for? To reheat your coffee and make popcorn.
Mm.
It's really what people use their microwaves for. They don't really cook in it because the microwaves are so bad for the food because it cooks at such a high heat that it actually overcooks it.
Or just to reheat it, basically.
Right. So I can't believe we're already 40 minutes into this. So steam ovens.
I know.
Right? So steam ovens. So what the steam ovens do, so it's got a water reservoir and it acts like a regular convection oven, but the steam is designed to superheat the oven quickly. And then use the humidity. It uses the humidity to help cook the food. So you can have moist. I use it for all my pasta reheating. Like I have a pasta. What's the worst thing about take home pasta? Like leftover pasta and you had it from a restaurant, you try to cook it the next day. It's dry. You overcook it, right? Because of the dry heat. But that's where the steam ovens come in, that you can actually reheat humid. Mm. Okay. I also use the steam oven to proof all my dough.
Oh.
So this is the other thing. You want to proof the doughs for anywhere from 1 to 3 hours or longer, depending on which type of dough you're using. And I proof everything in the steam oven because it's so when you proof dough, and we all have this function on our ovens today. It's a standard function on ovens today, is the proof mode. And what that does is that when you make your dough, you put saran wrap on it. Don't cover it with a wet towel. Put saran wrap on it or plastic wrap and put it in the oven on proof mode. That's at about 85 to 90 Fahrenheit.
Okay, I have to say
25 centigrade.
Oh, okay.
25 to 30 centigrade. Sorry, I have to interpret for our metric friends over here. So
The thing is, in Quebec, it's really weird. We have
you have
we
both,
use both for
right?
different things. Anyways, we won't get into it.
Right.
But
So by proofing at 85 to 90 degrees, you're allowing a moist environment and heat, a little bit of heat, because you don't want to activate the yeast too quickly. You don't want to cook the yeast, but you want the yeast to interact with the water and the dough to create gluten so
yeah,
they can rise.
but what about if you're gluten intolerant?
Then
I
you can
have
use gluten-free pasta. I mean, you can use gluten-free flour.
Okay, so but that is possible. You're not
It
going
is
to make
absolutely possible. Yep.
sourdough bread for sure.
The yeast is irrelevant. The yeast is only designed as the bacterial load to help develop the gas to
Oh,
create the CO2 in the dough to get the rise. So
yeah.
so we've all had focaccia bread. So
Mm.
how you get focaccia bread thick and airy is not manipulating it, not turning it and twisting it and rolling it or hand tossing it. You kind of like leave it alone. It's almost like a no need, where you don't want to manipulate the dough a lot. When you've got your dough and it's risen and you're about ready to bake it, if you want it airy with a lot of gas in it, you don't futz with it too much.
Okay.
Versus like a rustic bread, which you're going to have to toss and roll and fold and and this is where like this is what I was getting to earlier. Like if you don't have a steam oven like I do, which has a perforated pan, which is what you need for French breads,
Yeah.
okay, because you want the air to crust the bread up, right? So what you need to do is you can get from, I think like Emile Henry has one, and they all have what's called a bread cloche. Okay,
Cloche. Yes.
a cloche, a cloche.
Cloche.
I'll get some French today. You have baguette, you have
Yeah.
cloche,
Well, the
fromage for cheese.
France is the capital of gourmet
Pan,
food, right?
Pain is French for bread. So you got to understand, all cooking runs through Paris.
No, it's
Every
Lyon. Lyon.
Lyon,
I'm sorry.
Lyon. So all cooking runs through France, pretty much. Every world trained chef
Yeah.
is French trained.
And goes to Lyon because that's where I am sorry, I don't know the name exactly, but I know that's where the highest school of cooking
It's
is.
where Daniel Boulud learned and trained. And then
Uh,
he came to Daniel Boulud has 18 Michelin stars.
okay.
He's
Sorry.
one of the top chefs in the world, has opened up restaurants. So he was the sous at
Oh wait, yes, it's
in New
because
York City.
I
Okay.
know what it's the name.
Right.
It's in French. We call it. Anyways, you'd have to
Chef
type
de
it.
cuisine.
No, his name.
Oh, Daniel Boulud. Boulud. Daniel Boulud.
BOL.
He's the chef. I'm sidetracking here, everybody, but tough. He's the chef that got pissed that the French didn't create the hamburger.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
So
know that.
he created his own hamburger. So you can get his hamburger in New York City at his restaurant called Daniel. Okay, which is where
Okay.
Le Cirque was. He was the chef de cuisine at Le Cirque in New York City.
Okay.
Then he bought the space and created his own restaurant. So here's what he's done. So he wanted to create a hamburger that was so outrageous, it takes 3 days to make his hamburger.
No way.
It's ridiculous. So he's actually got his inner. So it's just crazy. So his burger, it's like $60. It's ridiculous. So it's.
So you're gonna have it once in your
It's
lifetime.
so expensive. You have to have it because it's that good. So his inner patty is a combination of oxtail and braised short rib.
Okay, wait. Oxtail. That's an animal, right?
Mm-hmm. It's all meat. It's all beef.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So his inner burger is oxtail and braised short rib. It takes a day to make the short ribs because he's got to, you have to braise them. So that takes a full day to make the short ribs.
Yes.
So on day 2, he braises the oxtail and makes the burger patty from the inner patty with short rib. Then he takes that, makes another outer patty to make more braised short rib with brisket.
No way.
So it's all blended meat. So the thing is, like, I'm going to tell you, like, the thing's like probably like that thick.
Oh wow. So
Then
you just have that when you eat.
Then he uses right. Then he puts cheddar. So that's basically right. Then it takes him a day to make the brioche buns because you can't have a hamburger without a brioche.
Absolutely. Brioche.
I mean, for those of
Pain
you that have not
brioche.
had a hamburger with brioche,
Yeah.
get the freaking brioche. Okay.
It's the pain brioche, as we call it.
Right. Like if you've not had a burger with a brioche bun, like you are totally missing like one of life's wonderful taste buds.
Yeah.
Like it is such an amazing taste. It's crazy. And then your local supermarket always has brioche. Um, so then he makes the burger with a slice of cheddar cheese,
Mm-hmm.
and then he makes his French fries. It literally takes him 3 days to make the burger because of the
Wow.
braised short rib, a day to make the bun. It is when you bite into the burger, and everybody should just Google search the Daniel Boulud burger and just
Balloon.
look at the images and let me know you're not gonna like roll over dead after you with a heart. Like I share it with my wife. The one time we had it was crazy. It was insane. Like the taste literally will like knocks you out of your chair. It's so good. But anyway,
So we
so
could say,
he's one of the he's one of the top chefs in the world. He's actually, if you go on celebrity cruises, he actually has the sponsored Le Voyage restaurant on the new ships, on the Edge class ships for celebrity, and it's all his cooking. His chefs are there making, like people who've trained with him. He opened up French Laundry in California. He's just one of these guys that if you want to ever have French cuisine, he's the. I mean, I have his book, and he's got all his recipes in there. I couldn't even begin to dream to make the food out of there, and I'm a pretty good cook. And I'm a great line chef, but but I can't make what I mean.
but
We're talking like
you must have
years of
tried
training.
to do
Yeah.
at least one recipe, right?
No. Yeah.
No.
I tried. I had to amend it because I don't even know where you would get some of the ingredients he puts in there.
Wow.
Like I couldn't
So
even, I would Google source the ingredients, and it's like, I'm not going to like the end point of the world to go get this one herb that he uses, that he sources from. It's like,
this is why you're also ending up paying $60 for the
right. So
hamburger, right?
we called this loafing out because it's really about the breads. It's really about my bread making and about how I get joy. And we still got sidetracked. We got like 10 minutes left. But
Well, I was about to ask,
yeah.
how do you make space for that? Because that's usually the last question that we ask our guests is how do you make that time and space to make bread, especially where you're going to end up having to wait 2 days for the
So based on my schedule, if I can plan out my breads, I'll try to do it on the weekend. Like I'll ferment the bread on Saturday and I'll bake it on Sunday. So I have the Sunday bread with dinner on Sunday. And then I have it for the rest of the week. And you know, my wife always yells at me, don't make this. When she tells me don't make it, it means make it again because it's so good. Yeah. But what this does is, so it's really all her fault because what happened was during the pandemic, I decided, you know, I happened to turn on America's Test Kitchen, and they were making an egg challah. So I'm like, I can do that. So it started with an egg challah. Then she bought me the clouche, and then I started making baguettes. I started making artesian breads. I started making cookies, and you know, listen, it's all her fault. I love you,
so
honey, but it's all your fault.
I mean, you have such a specialized career that you have to be very, very thorough in what you do, right? So, do you
Yeah.
think that that also was part of what led you to becoming so
Well,
like not focused, but like actually getting to want to know all the specific types and
mhm.
all?
So here's the thing. So baking, unlike regular cooking,
Yeah.
baking is like chemistry. You can't just decide you're going to change the ingredients and change the formulas because baking is so precise. Like if you make, we've all had the epic cookie fail.
Oh
Like
yes.
you're going to make chocolate chip cookies and you decide to go off the reservation and not follow the recipe. And
Yeah.
you cook, instead of at 350, you try to rush it and bake them at 400 for 12 minutes instead of 350 for 20 minutes.
Oh, you're missing an
Or
ingredient, and like, okay, I'm
you
gonna
don't,
try this one,
you
or
skimp on using butter and you use like cheapy margarine butter, and like
yeah,
you kind of start shortcutting and then they don't come out right. Oh, by the
absolutely.
way, for any baking, everybody, I only use Kerrygold Irish butter. I use that is exclusively what I use. I use the salted and unsalted based on the recipe, but I use nothing but Irish butter for baking.
It is so good, that
It's
butter.
expensive, but it's so good.
I
And I
agree.
know, listen, I know everything's pricey and expensive today, but if you're baking, you really want to use like the best ingredients you can find because it does change the taste.
Mm.
Now, I'm not saying that unsalted grocery store butter is not gonna, you're still not gonna, it's still gonna taste good. It's just not gonna be like, oh my God, great. Versus like, this is amazing.
So
It's also about the effect you want. And I use like sea salt. I don't use table salt.
Yeah.
Kosher salt, sea salt,
The texture would end up.
textures,
Yeah.
fresh rosemary, fresh herbs. You know, it all changes. All these things change food flavor. And it's like if you're making burgers, like I throw in a little bit of red chili peppers, Calabrian chili peppers from Italy, crushed, just to give it a little bit of a kick. When people bite into my hamburger, they're like, whoa, not expecting it. You want people, when you're entertaining, you want them to experience something other than Genoa salami and prosciutto, right? You want to throw them a cheese that they haven't had before.
Yeah. So how do
There's
you make?
There's an art to entertaining.
How do you make time for that?
See these bags here? This is not sleeping. This is what happens. No, I'm just kidding.
So you don't
Yeah,
sleep.
it's like, you know what it is? It's like anything else in life. If it's important enough, you make time for it.
But what if your schedule is like, it's bigger than.
Then there's no time for it.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a point where if it's important enough, you make time for it. And if it's just not doable, it's not doable. Like I'm going to be in Boston this weekend. If I throw a dough, it's going to be a very quick French recipe for Sunday night.
And will you be checking out bakeries and pastry place?
I'm going to be teaching a course all weekend. So no.
Oh, so you're not going to have time to just rush out.
I can't. If I go anywhere, I'll be going out for dinner and just, but I won't have time for like baking and shopping and that kind of thing. It's not in the cards this weekend.
But when you go to places like that, let's say you travel for work, will you go out of your way to go to a restaurant you've never been to try out things?
Oh, 1000%.
Yeah.
If I have any say so in the matter, being in the medical field, sometimes, the dinners are put on by companies I'm doing business with, or I'm on the speaker panel or whatever.
Yeah.
They're choosing the restaurant. It's usually some really high-end steakhouse. So I try to not eat like that on a regular basis. I try to eat healthier. Like I might have 2 appetizers and a salad.
Yeah.
Instead of having this big hunk of meat in front of me.
Yeah.
And then that's the other thing too, everybody. Don't forget, when you go out to dinner, you don't have to do entrees. Some of these appetizers are so filling that you could do 2 appetizers and a salad, and that's your dinner.
And often it's just,
and you'll save money.
And you'll be tasting 3 different things in just one plate.
Correct.
Depending if you're a foodie, right? Which you are, I'm sure.
Monica's so funny. Taste typing and listening is not my strong suit.
Yeah, Monica is. So you're so much fun to have in a chat, Monica. Thank you for
thank you. How many people are we up to now? Almost 100.
Oh yes, we need one more. Smash those hearts. Smash those
killing
hearts.
It today. We're killing it today.
Are we?
I think so.
Yeah, we are. No, honestly. Oh,
so let me ask you, since you've asked me so many questions today.
Mm-hmm.
What's your go-to baking? Like, what's your thing?
You mean, what do you mean by go-to baking?
Like, what's your go-to? Like, if you've got the time to bake something, what are you gonna do? Like, what's that one thing that you're like expert at making? Like, it's your thing.
Oh my God, I have no idea. You know why?
Stumper question.
Well, it's because, well, it really depends. If I have, I'm saying the kids, if I have my youth with me, which are now young adults, teenagers, young adults, then I'll end up having to cook
reservations,
different plates. Well, the thing is, you know what? I actually, we're on chronically healing out. So I do have fibro, and fibro has really impacted my cooking, which is, I have to pace myself. So where my daughter, she's 17 now. When she was 3, okay, she would never eat at school. Like I always cook all the time, when she was little. But over the years, it's been 12 years? I don't know. Like I became aware that I had fibro, and standing, if you're going to cook and it's worth it, it's at least minimum an hour, like standing up in your kitchen.
Not necessarily. Depends what you're making.
Well, I don't know. The way I cook, I guess it's just like,
if you're making it from scratch, it's a lot of prep.
Absolutely. Like, back then we didn't have those boxes, where you're like, HelloFresh, or you're getting all, because by the way, I love those because you could just get everything and you just
Oh, they're
cook
great.
it.
If you don't know how to cook, those things are the best way to learn how to build ingredients and mix and cook and learn.
Yeah, and that was
I
a
love
positive
that.
thing about COVID, because that's when they all like flourished,
Exploded.
like
Yep.
we had one company in Canada and then we have like three or four, So, and I have to say those are very handy, because if you like to make your own food, but then
But you don't know how to source everything or know ingredients. And
yeah.
so what's great about HelloFresh, everybody, and those types of companies is you could do that for like 3 to 6 months, build, and they send you all the recipes.
Yeah.
Like they send you the cards in the box, right?
Oh yeah.
So you wind up building
A
a
binder.
recipe book of the things that you like. And then once you learn how to make that stuff,
Yeah.
you don't need HelloFresh anymore. You go to your market and
Yeah.
you buy what you want
Yeah.
and you make that. And then you can
Absolutely.
start tweaking it a little bit. You start, well, maybe I'll add a little of this. Let's see how it comes out. A little
Yeah.
change in the sauce. Like once you learn how to make chimichurri, it's easy.
Yeah, but so I love cooking. Honestly, I do, but it's just harder because sometimes I'll have those
Yeah.
days where I have a
Yeah.
flare and I'm not able to just do it. I mean, sometimes it's just like my husband or even my daughter will bring me a plate, and it's something that's already either in the fridge or so. That has been something that I've had to accept, is to but when you're asking in terms of what do I like in terms of food, I am
Well,
like you in the way that I will
if you
discover.
let's just say that you feel you're having a really great day, your fibro's not flaring, and you can stand in the kitchen and you can prepare. What's your go-to dish? Like what's your home run dish?
Okay,
It's the
it's
thing that your family, you make it, your family knows they're going to be eating at the table.
okay. Honestly,
Dog salivating, kids salivating, husband salivating.
um,
They can't wait to dig into it.
I would say either butter chicken or chili. So very simple, but at the same time, it's just the time that and the ingredients too. Like
Mhm.
I'll get like the spices for I'll try to not take those whole El Paso like spices. Like I'll actually get the cumin, the paprika, like just the garlic. Like yeah. So I would say that's probably those. They're
Yeah,
pretty simple though.
learning how to make, and that's the other thing why I wanted to do this for everybody, is because once you learn how to bake a bread, you just learned a survival skill.
Yes, that's true.
You just learned a survival skill. If you can learn how to manipulate flour, water, yeast, and sugar.
Would you say you've tried making bread, like let's say when you're doing either camping or you're in not survival mode, but you don't have your oven, you don't have you ever tried that? Like on a campfire
No,
or something?
no.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Yes, but keep in mind too, it's so you have to do a quick rise. So if you're going to be outside, right, all you need to do is cover the bowl and let it sit
Mm.
outside for an hour and you'll get the rise. And then it's just about having the ingredients to bake bread. Remember, Jews didn't have time 40,000 years ago in the desert. That's why we have matzah. It didn't have time to rise. Okay.
And in
So,
in Quebec, well, I'm saying Quebec, but probably in Canada, where when I was little, we would go to um, okay, I'm trying. Sorry, I'm searching for my words, but um, Amérindien would be like First Nations bread. The way they cook it
mhm.
also is like it's in French. It's called de la bannique.
Like a
So
lavash,
bannique, what?
like a lavash, or is it
I
more
don't
like a
know,
cracker?
but yeah, but it's a little bit thicker.
Okay.
It somehow I don't know how to make it, but it was so good because I think they would put a little bit of sugar in it, so which was interesting because
Mhm.
and yeah, that was cooked on the fire. So I've had that.
Yeah. So for those of you that I got to get going here, but if for those of you that are very interested in bread making, so like I said, King Arthur Bakeries, where I get a lot of sourced information from, they sell a book. It's called The Big Book of Bread. Has about 125 different bread recipes, cookies in the back. Um, I'm not a I don't follow the show, but I bought my wife both of the Magnolia cookbooks from what's her face? From
One in the chat. I don't know.
was it for like it was the her and her husband down in Texas in Waco. They did the
I can't
tell
help
me
you.
Joanna
Joanne.
Gaines. Joanna Gaines. So she's
Okay.
got 2 cookbooks out, some fantastic recipes in there. Okay.
And her name
I
is
make,
Joanne.
and right. So like I also, my wife will kill me when I make it because I make a key lime pie that's frozen. If you've never had a frozen key lime pie, oh my God.
Oh, that must be so good. Wow. Wow, wow,
Like
wow, wow, wow.
killer. And then I make a ricotta cheesecake during the holidays for Christmas. I do like an orange ricotta cheesecake with ricotta cheese. My wife hates it when I make that too. So there's a few things, and like my ribs are really good. Like, I mean, I've perfected these over the years. I mean, I'm 55. If I haven't learned how to manipulate a grill at this point, being an American guy, I don't deserve to be in the kitchen. So
Well,
it's just, and I've learned, and then through my wife, I've learned also I really learned how to make Italian meatballs.
is
Really
she
learned how to make them.
Italian?
I learned all the tricks.
She's Italian, like a descendant?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fun. Hey, I'm looking, we're already at the top of
Oh,
the
I know.
hour.
We're like way over right now. So
Yeah. So please, Eric, sell yourself. Your Substack is
no, I'm not going to sell myself. I'll just sell myself short.
no, but
Anyway, all right. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This was so much fun. Thank you. So I miss Beth. So we have to do this
yes,
again when Beth's around again.
I'm
But
sure.
you can find me on Substack, drlulov.substack.com. All my stuff is not paywalled. My stuff is out there for free. You can also follow me on Blue Ant Media. And you can find me tomorrow at 12:30.
Oops, it just froze. What a way to. Oh, it froze.
Just lost the talk about intelligent masculinity. We have our little fun bro show for an hour. Anyway, thank you so much for having me. This is always so much fun to talk to you guys. So
Thank you for coming on, and I'm going to wish you a wonderful day. Thank
and
you
we
for
all
everyone who joined
just have
in the
to
chat.
just suck less.
Just suck less. Just suck less. And
Just
thank
suck
you
less. And thank you to Nick at Sick of This Shit Productions for having me on today. So thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
Thank you for hosting a Time for Life, Nick. We really appreciate you and everyone in the chat. So thank you. We'll see you again.
You got to promote yourself, so you're not getting off so easy.
Ah, well.
And subscribe to her, everybody. She needs the subscriptions. I'm good. She's Hackamatic over there needs your subscription. So,
You can all become paid, not paid subscriber. I like free subscriber, but I always say if you're gonna become a paid subscriber, please become a paid subscriber to Sick of This Shit publication. Our good friend Nick Parrow. And yes, so I'm just here.
We got to work on you selling yourself. Listen, everybody, if you don't follow Soso, I'm going to find you.
You know what? I'm honestly just doing this for fun.
And Beth, don't forget about Beth. Subscribe to Beth Cruz because they both host the show. Beth was sick today; she couldn't be on with us today.
She makes wonderful meditation on
really,
Mondays.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for smashing the hearts and taking care of Soso, everybody. And really, Soso, thank you so much for having me today. And
it was a pleasure. Thank you for coming. We'll see you.
Really love you guys.
Bye, guys.